What do you think the biggest challenges and opportunities in LNG shipping are?
A very good question, bearing in mind that we are in an improving market finally. The LNG ship owners have had a great difficulty in the last few years. Returns for them have been well below break even, and it's actually trying to get that investment back into shipping, because as everyone is aware, without the vessels to carry the product, we just don't have an industry. The LNG won't move. So we have to get the ship owners to invest. The one good thing is that we're moving away from project investment in towards full investment in shipping. We are getting a number of ship owners to come through, but until they see those returns actually going forward, you aren't going to get that huge investment that we saw in the period between 2011 and 2013. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing remains to be seen, but one of the things we will see is that you will get the ships coming out with the projects. Now, there are tenders out at the moment, and you are beginning to see that the fact that people who have contracted for product from the new plants in the US are beginning to build those ships. But there is a big question, and it is whether there are sufficient ships to meet the vast volumes of gas that are going to be transported worldwide. Going forward, do we see the market improving? We do. And will the market tighten? Yes. And will the market rise to the heady levels that we saw in the 2012-2013 period? Probably not, although you will get an occasional spike. The good thing is it's going to be very positive news for the ship owner, but it is then a question, how many new ships will be built? Will those projects come out on time? And will we continue to see the cyclical up, down that we experienced over the last 10 to 15 years? So there are still some challenges ahead.
How do you think the Panama Canal route has affected the global LNG shipping market?
There are 2 points about the LNG going through Panama. It is a very quick route, without a doubt. But what was it built for? It wasn't built for LNG, it was built for the large container ships. Those are the ones that have the priorities, and those are the ones that Panama again has come out recently and said they are targeting. If you took an LNG carrier every day, just one, going from east to west, i.e. from US Gulf into the Pacific Ocean, and you took a ship every single day fully laden, you would move about 25 million tonnes of LNG a year from the US Gulf. That is a very large amount. And going forward, yes, we will probably see those volumes, but we are not seeing those volumes today. The other problem with an LNG carrier is that it uses its own cargo to fuel its engines, and because of that it has boil off. It's not going one way, it's coming back the other way, and from the Pacific Basin into the US Gulf you need to keep cold potentially for going into your next port. And will you do that if you haven't got a slot, because they are very limited, and you are constantly warming up in your tanks, and therefore you have to make sure that you are booked? Those slots are heavily in demand. You know, it's only 6 extra slots a day that were allowed for all types of ships. And it's not only LNG, it's the containers, it's the LPG, it's the dry cargo. So we have to be very, very careful where we think of Panama being the be-all, end-all kind of going forward.